give you a short intro. I get excited every time I tell Trumbull gets to come up here and speak. So I'm going to go ahead and get through his intro so we can get him up here because I'm excited to hear what he has to say. Having been a Charlotte resident for nearly 25 years, Tim Trumbull has been here to witness firsthand most of the phenomenal growth of our city has experienced. He has been part of both the Charlotte business community and media for nearly all of that time. He has also lived on the east side of the city for most of that time. And tonight, he speaks from those experiences about the proposed renovation of the former Eastland Mall site, which has gone from a Charlotte landmark to a blot on the landscape. Tim's presentation is 5 to 7 minutes and comes from the advanced manual, Speaking to Inform, and is entitled Icon to Eyesore. Please welcome Mr. Tim Trumbull.
You will bear with me for just a moment. I do have a visual presentation to go along with this. I promise not to mess up the landscape too badly here.
Doesn't help. Just stick that on your shirt.
Right.
It'll blend right in.
I think that should clear out enough space. So, let's start off by warming up the Wayback Machine. Let's go back to 1975. Talk of the town. The newest jewel and crown for Queen City. The amazing Eastland Mall. Actually the largest regional shopping mall between Baltimore and Atlanta, with over 1 million square feet of retail space and that legendary ice skating rink on the lower level. There was nothing else like it. It was truly the talk of the town. Headline news in the Charlotte Observer. Everybody was talking about it. And for the next 35 years, Eastland Mall would be a centerpiece in the East Charlotte landscape. I even had the pleasure, and it truly was a pleasure, for several years, to manage one of the stores in Eastland Mall. Saw the beautiful gleaming interiors, French limestone floors. It truly was a showplace. However, it seems to happen with many malls. There's a life cycle to it. After about 20 years, many malls tend to start in decline. Unfortunately, Eastland was no exception. Not only was it falling victim to the natural life cycle of the shopping mall, but the demographic makeup of East Charlotte was changing. While to its benefit it was becoming much more ethnically diverse, it also was bringing an economic downturn at the same time. Eastland Mall's traffic began to slow down. There were more and more incidents of trouble on the mall site. At one point, police had to be called in to break up some gangs of young people that were starting to congregate there every Friday night. And unfortunately, it was becoming a trouble spot. Eastland lost one of its 4 major anchor stores. Many of the other national chains that you typically see in a mall were disappearing. Finally, after 35 years, in 2010, Eastland Mall was forced to close its doors. Nowadays, it's shuttered, the doors covered with plywood. That skating rink is now covered with litter. Those French limestone floors no longer see any foot traffic. And it has become a blot on the landscape of Charlotte. In 2011, the city of Charlotte bought Eastland Mall for $13.2 million. As a point of reference, Eastland Mall had changed hands a couple of times, especially during its last few years of its life. The previous transaction from owner to owner prior to the city taking it over was for $2 million. Thought that might take a second to sink in. For $2 million, the city bought it for $13.2 million. And it sits still vacant today. But since the city took it over, with the intent of it becoming the centerpiece of an East Side economic revival, the ideas, the concepts, the offers have been flooding in. Just this past week, the city finally narrowed it down to a final project. It would be the creation of Studio Charlotte. The 82-acre site, here in its heyday with a parking lot filled with cars, suddenly changed. In addition to that $13.2 million, the city is now going to spend almost $900,000 more to tear down the existing structures of Eastland Mall, to clear the land for the creation of a brand new multi-use complex. Forgive me for the typeface here being just a bit blurry, but it's broken down into several districts within the 82 acres of Eastland Mall. District 1, the heart of it, is in fact Studio Charlotte, including 6 18,000 square foot sound stages for motion picture and television production, plus 2 24,000 square foot sound stages. And then on the far left end here, a film school to be associated with colleges and universities in the Charlotte area. District 2 on the far right is called the Forum, a multi-use property with office spaces and a major hotel. District 3 is Carolina Square, designed to be a shopping and dining district with the emphasis on the cultural diversity of the east side of Charlotte. District 4 is the education campus with a design for a magnet school for the Charlotte-Mecklenburg school system. Absolutely grand design with some amazing, wonderful concepts behind it. Something that can truly create thousands of jobs. Something that has the ability to truly revitalize the east side. And if you're thinking about what a movie studio could be for East Charlotte, Charlotte and Carolinas have already a significant background when it comes to television and motion picture production. From Matlock, One Tree Hill, which were filmed in Wilmington, to films like Shallow Hal and Patriot, The Hunger Games, all filmed in the Charlotte area. Many of you may not know, the last Iron Man movie was filmed here in the Charlotte area. And of course, Homeland, which has won 6 Emmy Awards, was also filmed here in Charlotte. So the history is there. But the proposal that has been put forth for this project has some significant questions. Film school, a wonderful project, 100 feet from those sound stages. But are there any committed affiliations to the colleges and universities in our area? There's a major theater planned for red carpet openings. Is there an operator committed to it? The hotel. What hotel operator is committed to that project? The diverse dining and retail. Do they have those restaurateurs already on board? Or is it Chipotle Mexican Grill and a Mama Foods noodle house going to fit that? And with the magnet school, I don't know about you, but I can't find anything from Dr. Heath Morrison to say that CMS is actually willing to be there. Those questions need to be answered. Have they been answered? Some comments on their Facebook page will tell you the likely answer. Questions regarding how far they are in the process. What's the likelihood of the studio coming to fruition? What kind of film school? The answer, oh, they're great questions, but unfortunately they're steps 282 through 296, and right now we're on step 4. In other words, there are no commitments. Plus, the Studio Charlotte Development Group wants the city to give them the land after tearing down the mall. A $14 million investment to be given away with no actual guarantees or promise of true results. There's no guarantees anywhere that this won't just become another oversized apartment complex when all is said and done. There are questions that need to be answered before the city council moves forward, which is why Tuesday night they said, yeah, we like this idea. We're going to say, yes, you're the one we want to pursue, but we're going to take another 6 months to look at this very closely. It's an incredibly ambitious project. And don't get me wrong, I believe this is the right way to start the East Side revitalization. Studio Charlotte should be a reality, but we need much more in the way of answers and commitments before this project can move forward. Mr. Toastmaster.